not doing the intro anymore. Here's why. 1, I don't think anyone will notice. 2, I feel like it takes up time. 3, what is that patting? I have dogs in the house now, and so that's them walking around. How does one become a full-time author by accident? I will tell you why. One gets laid off during the time of COVID-19. Yeah, so I did social media for a travel company, and as you can guess, ain't nobody traveling now if they don't need to. So leisure travel is not a booming industry anymore, and so I was let go essentially for that reason, because the company could not afford to continue to have me. And I'm fine. I'm lucky. I have a lot of privileges in place. I'm up north right now with my boyfriend who, still has his job and is able to help out. I have savings for once in my life. I have like a very supportive family who are in a position to help me if necessary. So I'm in a really good spot. And also the government has employment insurance here that can help you when you become unemployed because you're laid off, things like that. So lots of things in place for me. I am fine. So the kind of silver lining of this is that I get to try out what it's like to be a full-time author, which personally is something that I had never pictured in my future. Not necessarily because I thought it would be something I wouldn't be able to do one day maybe, but because it wasn't something I desired to do. It's interesting. I'm going to link it over here. Alexa Dunn did a whole video about why she doesn't want to be a full-time author. And I agreed with a lot of those points. I like having benefits. In Canada, we have universal healthcare, but it doesn't cover things like medicines and that sort of thing. So I have a peanut and fish allergy. I need an EpiPen. Without insurance, that EpiPen is like $100. And so those sorts of things help me out with that. Benefits for things like dental work is also really important. And I also just like having consistent money that I can count on. So having a full-time job, knowing that every 2 weeks, I'm going to get paid the exact same amount over and over again, unless I get raises, in which case I'll get paid even more, is really important to me personally. I don't really like the idea of a hustle lifestyle in which I have to do a bunch of stuff to try and create an income. I kind of like just working a full-time job and getting my income there and then doing some writing as something additional. And so I had never expected this for me, but the way circumstances have ended up, this is now something that I'll be trying for the next little bit, because I really don't see how successful I'm going to be in re-upping another job during this time. But I have some time between now and when things calm down a little bit to kind of focus entirely on writing and YouTube and myself. So that's how things are gonna be. So what am I gonna do now that I'm a full-time author by mistake? Originally when this happened, I thought, oh, I'm gonna write so much more. Like I'm doing 1 to 2 chapters of revisions a day right now. So I was like, oh, I could do 2 chapters of revisions every day. And I will tell you, today I sat down, it was my first day being a full-time author. And I decided I was going to write from 9 until I wrote from 9 to 4 with like a break in between for lunch. And I did not get much more done in that time period than I get usually in the hour and a half that I do work before I was going to actual work. So it didn't make a huge productivity difference. And I think that's legitimate considering the situation, considering the panic and low level stress. Even though I myself don't feel panicked, I'm not immunocompromised. People in my family who are safe at home. They don't have to go out to work. So I don't have those worries, but it's still like there's something in the background that is very distracting that makes it so I can't be double productive just because I don't have to work now. And that's something I discovered very, very quickly. So really my plans for what I'm going to do during this time are a bit more split up. So I do hope that I'll be able to continue my revision schedule. I do predict I'm going to be done at the end of this month with my revising, and then I'm going to start writing my sequel. And I think I'll be able to maintain a NaNoWriMo type goal in doing something like 2,600 words a day, I think is what I'm going to end up doing. And I think that will be something that works because I'll be able to split it up during the day. I'll be able to do some writing in the morning and some writing at night. And it's drafting, so it's a little bit different because I like drafting so much. So that's something I'm going to be working on. I'm going to continue doing one video a week for YouTube, with the exception of videos like this that are spontaneous and out of nowhere. If I want to do a video like right off the bat, then I'm going to do it. If I want to join someone's live stream, I'm just going to do that. I think I would like to be a little bit more spontaneous sometimes with my videos, not necessarily committing hardcore to be like, yeah, I'm going to go back to 2 videos a week, because that's the same thing with that writing. I can't suddenly double my productivity just because I don't have a day job anymore, because I've already learned that, and I don't need to put undue pressure on myself in a situation that's technically already stressful because I have no job. And even though I don't feel stressed about that now, that could change at any moment when things really dig in. So there's that. I'm also hoping that I can learn something maybe. I have a Skillshare account that has just kind of been chilling. I would like to use that because I only have 1 more month of free, and then I'm going to cancel it because I'm not going to pay. Not now. So I may as well use that and learn something. I'd like to learn a little bit more about photo editing if I could, using Lightroom a little more effectively. If there's anything cool video editing, but I also kind of want to learn some illustration stuff. I used to draw when I was younger a lot. I wasn't that good, so don't get excited, but I used to draw, and I'd like to do a few illustration type things. And other than that, really kind of take some more time for myself because I have it now, so I may as well use it. And those are kind of my plans for my new life as a temporary full-time author. And that's it for how I became a full-time author by accident. What I would like to say is, because this is happening to a lot of people I know during this time, if you are being laid off, if you've lost your job, if you're having a really hard, stressful time, I really feel for you. Something that I've heard other people say that I also agree with is trying to find positive things that you like and giving yourself a break to not try and double your productivity just because you have more time or just because you're stuck at home, because that's really not how it works. I am like a productivity hoe. I'm totally one of those people where I was like, oh yeah, I could do double the work, and I really couldn't. So if you can't, don't feel any sort of way about that. I think that's completely normal. And yeah, absolutely. What are you doing in your time of COVID-19? Are you social distancing? Are you at home? Are you working? What's going on in your life in this time of a literal pandemic? Please comment and share those so we can chat. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to me already, please subscribe. And I just lost my job, so like, you really should subscribe. Even out of pity. I'm fine with pity subscribes. I have no problem with that. So thank you for that if you subscribe. And yeah, I post every Tuesday. You might see a spontaneous video like this pop up during this time, but otherwise rely on Tuesdays. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.